Palestine has formally attained membership of the International Criminal Court, a move that could open the door to possible war crime indictments against Israeli officials despite uncertainty over its wider ramifications. The accession on Wednesday is another landmark in the Palestinian diplomatic and legal international campaign, which gained steam in 2014. The Palestinians moved to join the Hague-based court on January 2, in a process that was finalized on Wednesday, setting the scene for potential legal action. Palestine has and will continue to use all legitimate tools within its means in order to defend itself against Israeli colonization and other violations of international law, said senior Palestinian official Saber Rocket. Al Jazeera's Jonah Hull, reporting from The Hague, said despite their membership, the Palestinians may still have to wait for the Hague to begin investigating Israelis accused of war crimes. This is such a heavily politicized case that the court will have to think hard before taking action against the Israelis. It may be years before we something. Diana Chahade, a former Hague official, told Al Jazeera preliminary examinations could be completed by the end of this year, but the court would not investigate cases already being looked into by other judicial institutions. Based on the principle of complementarity, the Hague would not investigate if an Israeli judicial institution is investigating a war crime to Hague standards, Chahade said. The Hague has long been brandished as one of the Palestinians' doomsday measures, along with threatening to end vital West Bank security coordination with Israel. The notion of Hague investigations is outrageous to Israel, and Netanyahu has accused the Palestinian Unity government, including Hamas, which the Jewish state considers terrorists, of manipulating the court. Israel retaliated swiftly and cut off millions of dollars in monthly tax payments it collects on behalf of the Ramallah-based Palestinian Authority. The notion of forming a Palestinian state by negotiations was buried during this month's election campaign by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who pledged one would not be established on his watch were he to retain his post as Prime Minister. Netanyahu meanwhile released the held funds, which constitute 2/3 of the Pennsylvania's income, excluding foreign aid. Some Israeli media reported that in exchange for unfreezing the money, the Palestinians agreed to refrain from filing complaints to the Hague on April 1. It's a huge lie. Taxes have nothing to do with our Hague approach. The Hague train already departed, said Xavier Abouaid, a spokesman for Palestine Liberation Organization. April 1, however, will be primarily ceremonial, with Palestinian Foreign Minister Riyad Malki receiving a copy of the Rome Statute, the Hague's founding treaty. While some Palestinian officials announced the date as the day they would file complaints against Israelis, in reality it is more likely they will wait, as state members are only able to draw the court's attention to specific cases. In addition, they will be holding on to see the outcomes of a preliminary probe launched by Hague prosecutor Fatou Bensouda on January 16. At the same time that Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas sought Hague accession, he also sent the court documents authorizing the prosecutor to investigate alleged crimes that took place in Palestinian territories since June 13, 2014. The unrest in June escalated to the summer war between Israel and Gaza fighters, which left dead 2,200 Palestinians and 73 on the Israeli side. So far, no investigation of Israeli officials has been launched and no time framework has been set for one. But the Palestinians are confident they will happen sooner rather than later, considering all the attention to Palestine at the Hague. The Palestinians reject the argument the Israeli officials cannot be tried at the Hague, because Israel is not a signatory of the Rome Statute, maintaining the court can also investigate crimes committed on the territory of member states. It's absurd for the Hague to ignore international law and agreements, under which the Palestinians don't have a state and can only get one through direct negotiations with Israel, Netanyahu said in January following the announcement of the preliminary probe. Among the forms of Israeli retaliation is legal assistance for victims of Palestinian attacks. In February, a U.S. jury found the Pennsylvania NPO responsible for 6 attacks which killed dozens and ordered them to pay the victims' families more than $650 million in damages.